Welcome everyone to KBW with your man Disrespectful, the one and only. So in this episode, it's going to be a brief one. You know how White Pepper did his NXT and NXT UK review. So I'm going to review WWE Worlds Collide. So in this week's episode of Worlds Collide, you had Candice LeRae go up against Kay Lee Ray. So that's you had NXT, which is Candice LeRae going up against NXT UK in Kay Lee Ray. And this was a great match. You had, you know, you had a spin punch from Kay Lee Ray that I thought was surely going to take out Candice LeRae, but Candice LeRae took that and used that as momentum to come at her. She did 3 jumps through the ring, which I thought was phenomenal. And then she put on a moonsault, missed the first time, hit it the second time, and then pinned Kay Lee Ray for the 1, 2, 3. Then your second match of the night was Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. So that was SmackDown. Well, she was at Raw, like we talked about, and then she was traded to Raw, then went back to SmackDown because of her husband, and then Piper Niven from NXT UK. And, well, this is just, Piper Niven was just way, way bigger. Zelina Vega held her own. I was very, very impressed with the way she was able to take her on. She really didn't have much momentum, Piper Niven, but she was just so much bigger that didn't matter at the end of the day. She ended up just manhandling Zelina Vega when it came down to it at the end, even though Zelina Vega had the advantage the entire time, and she pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. Your next match was NXT's Io Shirai against SmackDown's Sonya Deville. Now, you don't get to see Sonya Deville fight that much because she's with Mandy Rose on SmackDown, and she doesn't get to showcase her talents. She is an ex-MMA fighter, so that there's definitely that in her, and she put a whooping on Io Shirai. And, you know, I thought Io Shirai was going to put up a better fight. I thought she had, you know, more potential because you really don't get to see Sonya Deville fight that much, but Sonya Deville really had this match in the bag from the beginning. Io Shirai showed some signs of light there, hitting a couple shots here and there, but at the end of the day, it was really all up to Sonya Deville to take out Io Shirai for the win. And then the final match of the night was SmackDown's Nikki Cross, NXT's Bianca Belair, and NXT UK's champion Toni Storm, putting her title on the line against these 2 other women. And so you haven't seen Nikki Cross fight whatsoever, really, since coming to WWE SmackDown. She's kind of been, you know, on the sidelines here and there. Well, she put some work in. You could tell she has that crazy mentality. So she has the mankind, like me and White Pepper were talking about before. She has that mankind mentality type of deal, and we were talking about this kind of stuff like off air with her and what she could be or not be and different things like that. And we thought, well, maybe she could be the mankind of the women's division, or even join Bray Wyatt's new band of misfits and taking over these souls possibly. She's definitely one of those options there, along with one of the members of the Riot Squad we had talked about. But yeah, so, you know, she had some light in there. She put Bianca Belair and then Toni Storm into the ring apron, and then proceeded to pound them with some elbows. Bianca Belair got in a double spear, they called it. It really looked like a clothesline. She missed the spear, and that's what it's supposed to be. It really looked more like a clothesline. But you had that there. So they had a great match. It honestly was probably the most exciting I've seen in a while from WWE really show in general. Being it was 45 minutes, 46 minutes. It was constant fighting, excuse me. And these women put on a great show, and it was really fun to see. This was out in Brooklyn. But basically, at the end of the day, I mean, Toni Storm really wasn't showing much energy there. It was really Bianca Belair, and then even Nikki Cross had some in there. But when it came down to it, Toni Storm was able to undercut everybody and jump out with the lead. Jump out with the W at the end of the day, because she was able to capitalize when she had the opportunity to. With Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair basically focusing on each other for most of the match, and her just kind of waiting from silence and then attack. all around, it was a great matchup for these three women. All four matches were really, really good. I said you don't get to see Zelina Vega fight that much, and to go against Piper Naveen, who's a solid force to reckon with, she was able to put on a show and really showcase what she could do. It was just Piper was just ended up being too much for her this time around. And I said all the other women really were able to show their things. I think this is great that WWE is doing something like this. This is now their third one. I did not get a chance to check out the other two. They did one last Sunday, and then the Wednesday before that, I think it was. So this has been something that's going on. We're just starting to cover this now. Like I said, this was definitely the more entertaining of them. I think this is a great idea, though, to be able to bring more of the brands in on things and together and fighting, and just kind of, make it more entertaining to see these different, as I like to call them, dream matchups. I just think it's a great way to just showcase your talent in another atmosphere in a quick 1-hour show. These girls and men coming from all over, fighting from all different of the brands, from NXT UK, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and just having matches here, and just, bringing up stuff what you may not see. Like, for a whole year, you won't be able to see Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins fight. Well, it not necessarily out of the picture for here, or I would say for maybe there's a virus like that. But I don't think to put the big talents on Worlds Collide, but it'll definitely be a lot of the NXT UK and NXT men and women fighting a lot in this against some up and coming fighters that were on NXT and NXT UK, just to have those matches here and there. Definitely, I like the NXT versus NXT UK stuff, which is why I really think this showcases the talent of what NXT UK really has to offer. Now, Candice LeRae from NXT won, but then NXT Piper Naveen won, so you had NXT and NXT UK each get their own win there, and then you had a SmackDown win with Sonya Deville. But then at the end of the day, it was NXT UK with 2 out of the 4 wins, but they were in 3 of the 4 matches. So again, still great to see. But NXT UK seemed to have the better talent. I don't know, like I said, that Zelina Vega Piper Naveen fight, I think could have gone either way at the end of the day if Zelina Vega was able to just do something a little bit more to take her down, like take her out the knees or something like that. Again, it was a great way. I think WWE's on something right now, at least this matchup. I may go back and watch the last 2 within the next couple weeks, or next week or so that maybe me and White Pepper can talk about that on our weekly wrap-up show. So, stay tuned for that, because we may actually go and do that. But as of right now, just based off of this Wednesday's episode, this is what I saw. I thought it was, again, a great way for WWE to showcase their talents, and this back and forth that they have with all the talents within all their brands that they have currently going on, because they have so much. It's a great way to see some of the talent that you don't get to see all that often, that maybe should be showcased a little bit more. Hey, maybe they shouldn't be. So this is why they're doing that kind of stuff. This is your man, the Disrespectful One, signing off. Goodbye, mwah, and good night, bang.